Ariel Helwani in Denver for UFC 150 alongside the UFC lightweight champion Benson "Smooth" Henderson, who meets Frankie Edgar for the second time this Saturday night live on pay-per-view. And Benson, I must say, you're an impressive guy, but that beard, wow, that's an impressive beard, my friend. Is this part of the new look for the new champion?
Not exactly. I was rushing home. I wanted to spend as much time at elevation and at high altitude that I could. So we did our last 2.5 weeks in Flagstaff, Arizona. I spent like 3 hours in Phoenix at sea level, and then we wanted to come out to Phoenix, Denver right away. So we flew out. I didn't have time to shave it off yet, but it's coming off later tonight.
Well, they have no razors in Flagstaff. That's a bad excuse. Come on, just be proud of it. It looks great.
It's a country. It's a country high up there. Yeah. A bunch of country boys and stuff. They miss their razors.
You're not going to keep it for their fight night?
Probably not. Not so much.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, how about being champion? What has been the toughest sort of thing to deal with? I know a lot of media, people pulling you in different directions, but what's been the most surprising or difficult thing to deal with as champion?
Probably not surprising, but the most difficult is all the obligations. Media, going to go do this, going to do that. You got to get up extra early. Well, early for me. I like to wake up at the crack of 9 a.m. or so. So I wake up at 7 to get my early morning workout. Make sure I get that done before all the media calls and the radio interviews and all that stuff. After that, we head straight out to the other calls and duties and appearances and all that stuff. So that's really been the biggest thing I had to deal with. Not really a surprise. I knew it. I knew coming along. That's what comes with the belt and stuff. But so I deal with it and do the best you can.
Speaking of the media, I've been following you on Twitter, obviously for a long time. You went from Smooth 155, then you sort of went corporate on us and went with Benson Henderson, twitter.com/Benson Henderson. And it seems like you're kind of trying to take our spot. Reporting things, putting out reports, writing things about the media. Is this you looking ahead to the future? When you're done fighting, you're going to become a member of the MMA media?
That was kind of a funny story because I was actually on Twitter cruising down, and then on a bunch of the other websites just cruising down and looking at all the headlines and stuff. And every headline's all the same. Oh, breaking news! A fighter says he could have won if he didn't run into that straight jab. Oh, fighter think he could have won if he didn't do this. Oh, breaking news, fighter thinks he feels the best he's ever felt before. Like, duh. Oh, breaking news, fighter is more confident and thinks he can beat the champion. Of course you think he can beat the champion. Duh. It's common sense stuff to me, but like not you personally, but a lot of the media types want to report that stuff, and to me it's just it's funny. You're reading the same article and then just take out the fighter's name and insert the next fighter's name.
Is that more on us or on you guys for giving us the same quotes, cliches over and over again?
I think it's you guys because you guys ask the same questions. Every once in a while, you do a good job. Every once in a while, you get a little original and mix things up. Kind of hitting on Ronda Rousey a little bit. I saw that.
Hit what? I'm a married man, Benson. How dare you?
I understand. My apologies. Wow. No, but every now and then you get a good interview where you mix it up and it's not the same questions. But for the most part, 80% of the time, it's the same 5 questions, and it just get a bit redundant for myself as a fan reading it. Not even as a fighter. It's very redundant as a fighter, but as a fan reading all the stories, the reports, and the blogs and stuff, it's like, okay, I think I've read this same report, the same story 75 times already in the past 2 months.
Apparently, ladies and gentlemen, when you become the champion, you become also a media critic. So it's good to hear, and I like that you're keeping us on your toes.
Your guys' job is to criticize us. Yes. I figure it's only in turnabout is fair play,
Yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you this. Speaking of a quote that came out in the media last week, Dana White said that if you lose on Saturday night, you're not getting a rematch. Is that fair? Yeah,
fair enough. He's the boss. Whatever he says goes, As far as being in a good position and all that stuff, and my position's precarious and whatnot, I'm sitting in the position of having a belt around my waist, defending that belt. That's a pretty good position. I'll wake up and take that any day.
On the Countdown show, Frankie's camp, in particular Mark Henry, his boxing coach, mentioned that sometimes when you get rocked, he said you did it in the 5th round of the Frankie fight, you did against Pettis, you will wipe your feet to tell the judges that really wasn't a knockdown, it was more of a slip. Is that something you like to do for the judges?
What's his name, Mark Henry?
Correct.
Mark Henry, God bless you. You're a great dude. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. That's what he thinks. That's his opinion. I get knocked down, then I wipe my feet off. That may be the case. If it is, cool. If not, whatever. You're entitled to your opinions. I don't really have a response to that. He says this, that's what I do. That's his opinion. That's his point of view. That's his take on it. Obviously.
Why do you do it?
My feet are slippery. Obviously Frankie's guys are in his corner, obviously they're gonna think he won the fight. Obviously they're gonna think, oh, well, that hit landed. It landed square. It rocked him. Obviously, my guys, my perspective, my coaches are going to think otherwise. So it's all a matter of perspective. You got to really realize, understand that, you know, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I don't begrudge anybody their opinions. You can think whatever you want to think. It's cool. I have no problem with that. I'm sure he's a great guy and everything. But, you know, as far as me getting hit and wipe my feet off, I guess. I don't know. What do you think? Did you see it?
You don't strike me as that kind of guy. I've seen you do it because they highlighted it in the show. You don't strike me as the kind of guy who will play sort of a game like that with the judges, but I thought it was a valid point.
Cool. Yeah. Valid point.
Right. Okay.
Valid point.
Are you going to throw as many kicks in this fight?
How many did I throw last time?
A lot. I don't know it off the top of my head, but you did throw a lot. He caught some, but it seemed like some of them landed before he caught them. So I'm wondering. It seemed like a good game plan. I'm just wondering if you're going to do it again. I'm
going to do whatever he allows me to do. You know, if he's lets me, you know, elbow him in the face, I'll elbow him in the face. He lets me, you know, stomp on his toes, I'll stomp his toes. He lets me pull his hair, I might pull his hair. You know, whatever he allows me to do, I want to take advantage and, you know, do a good enough job to get my hand raised. Really, it's just that's what it's all about. If it happens to be leg kicks, it's leg kicks. If it happens to be punches, it's punches. If it happens to be wrestling, and whatever the case may be, I want to be able to take advantage of it.
By the way, I wouldn't suggest pulling his hair. It's pretty short, so I don't think you'll get a good grab on his hair.
I don't want to lose any points from the judges either.
Two last quick things. What are you expecting from him? Are you expecting the same fighter, or do you think he's going to do something differently?
No. Frankie's tough. Frankie's pretty good. You know, if you knew that or not, he's pretty good in his rematches. You know, yeah. So I definitely expect a better, tougher Frankie Edgar. His coaches, Mark Henry, that's his name. Mark Henry, he has been his coach for a while.
Correct.
He puts together great game plans as far as the rematches go. They find the holes, the weaknesses of the fighters, and Frankie's able to go out there and execute. He's able to go out there and find those holes, see them, recognize them, and take advantage of those holes. So I expect a way tougher, a better Frankie Edgar, the best Frankie Edgar ever. Hopefully I'm up to the task to keep my belt.
Okay, final thing. Do you feel as though you have been accepted and viewed by the MMA community as a champion, or do you think you need to finally put this fight to bed, this rematch, Frankie Edgar and his opponent to bed, beat him again in order to fully be accepted as champion? Because I'm not quite sure if that has happened yet. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know what you're saying, but from the way you're wording the question of me not being accepted, it makes me feel almost as if I am not accepted from the MMA community. But I feel like, you know, I feel pretty accepted. I don't have any feelings of, oh, darn, I wish the MMA community would accept me as a champion. Like, no, I feel fine. I feel good. It's
almost like this is an extension of the first fight, so it's almost like you can't be crowned yet until you beat him and put that to bed. You know what I'm saying?
I suppose a lot of people, myself included, I've been known to say that, you know, you're not the champ until you defend the belt one time. So, you know, maybe that might be a part of the case.
Very well said. All right, well, it goes down this Saturday night live on pay-per-view. Benson "Smooth" Henderson defends his title for the first time against Frankie Edgar. Good luck, and please keep the beard. Rethink it, okay?
Thanks, Ariel. I'll think about it. I'll think about it.